Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Marvel Contest of Champions. Today, we are going to rank up our 7-star Awakened Rank 1 Signature 20 Titania. Here she is in all her glory right now. If you're unfamiliar with Titania, this champion is one of the few buff immune champions in MCOC. Key features of Titania are her Haymaker mechanic, which allows her to be unblockable, unstoppable, indestructible, and can do extra damage per debuff. Her Fury buildup, which does extra damage, and her debuff generation, because she can generate tons of debuffs. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, let's go ahead, and we got this 1 to 2 rank up gem. We're going to use this. Then we're going to look at Titania and how we use Titania. We're going to look at her rotations, and we're going to look at all of her abilities. So this is probably going to cost me a cool 2 million gold to get her from rank 1 to rank 2 and then all the way up to maximum level, which is 35. So let's go ahead and do the gem. The gem is done. We got the gem from the Road to the Crypt rewards. We're going to use all of this science. That was 300,000, and we're at level 12. So like I said, that was a third of what we had. So I figure it's going to cost us about 2 million. Okay. And eventually, the game will pick up my ISO. All right, there it goes. Okay, so then we're going to go. That gets us to 22. That was another 300,000. And we're going to grab the last. Hopefully, this will be about the last stack. Another 300,000. Almost. We're almost there. And now we're gonna come out of here because I got a whole bunch of stuff that's just sitting here, getting ready to expire. So we're gonna grab that, and we're actually gonna use. We're gonna grab the rest of this. And that should do it. All right, she is max rank. So now let's take a look at her kit a bit. And let's get back to the champion itself. So she is not very high PI. Not at all. So she's at 25,460. As far as 7 stars go, now my Photon and Hulk are both rank 3. Silk, I believe, is a rank 2. So Silk is a bit higher than her. And then Spider-Man on down are all rank 1. So this is Titania. So let's take a look at her. She is a science champion. I do give her a rating of God tier or a grade of A. And we can highlight that here. There it is right there, a grade of A. And she's got a lot of pretty good stuff that's in her kit. So first off, like I said, she is immune to buffs. She does have a little bit of physical resistance, not a massive amount, and that's based off of her level, of course. If we go over here to attributes, and we look down here at physical resistance and we change it over to percentage, her current physical resistance means she shrugs off 12.4% of whatever physical damage she would take. That's what that 284 number means. So the main thing she's got is this Haymaker ability. And so if she performs, there's an icon. It will be purple. When it is purple, if you do a dash, a medium attack, or charge a heavy, that means you just even start a heavy, you will activate the Haymaker, and the purple icon will turn into an unblockable, unstoppable, indestructible passive for 4 seconds, and it has a 30-second cooldown. While these effects are active, you do some burst damage per debuff, so you want to have as many debuffs on as you can with this. So let's take a look at that particular mechanic. now that we have looked at her haymaker ability, her next big ability that she's got here is this add insult to injury ability. So whenever the opponent is inflicted with a debuff, Titania gains a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by, right now, 459 points for 15 seconds. And then the haymaker itself is also reduced by 1 second. And all of Titania's debuffs can be inflicted through the block. So that is her Fury piece. But this also works with her light attacks because remember, it says up there that all of her debuffs can be inflicted through the block. So you want to do a medium, light, 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 because every single one of her light attacks inflicts a suppression debuff. And what is a suppression debuff? A suppression debuff reduces the combat power rate by the given potency. So that is the power rate that your opponent gains every time they hit you. Not because you don't really gain anything when you hit somebody's block. It's when they actually hit you that you gain. So it reduces that by 5%. And remember, every light attack that hits generates that. It also generates one of these Furies, and it does it even through the block. They only last for 2 seconds, but that kind of, if you keep doing that kind of rotation, it will continuously stop the opponent from gaining any kind of leverage against you if they hit you. And also, you'll continue to put on a lot of different Fury buffs. So let's take a look at that particular mechanic. All right, let's talk about her heavy attack, because her heavy attack also has a specific effect as well. So the first hit inflicts a stagger, and what is a stagger? Well, it nullifies a buff. So she's actually pretty good against anyone that puts buffs on as well. And the stagger lasts for 8 seconds. The other very important piece of this is that if the first hit lands while the haymaker's effects are active, then the final hit inflicts an extra stack of Titania's active personal debuffs. So if the attack is canceled into a special attack, the extra debuffs are inflicted on the final hit of the special attack. So what that means is you may have a chance, if you heavy while the haymaker is active and activate the haymaker, you're going to get 2 staggers. If you heavy while haymaker is ready and you hit with the first and then you go immediately into a special, whatever debuff that special is going to inflict, then you're going to inflict twice as many. So let's take a real quick look at what her heavy looks like and how it. Okay, now we've seen her heavy, so now we're going to talk about all of her specials. The first one is the Special 1, which the first hit inflicts a non-stacking debilitate debuff, extending the duration of any new debuffs by 50% for 30 seconds. And then in addition, each hit of the Special 1 inflicts a weakness debuff, which reduces attack rating by 5%. But remember that if you do the Special 1 after the first hit of a heavy, then it's going to be twice as many weaknesses. So because the debilitate is not stacking, you won't get 2 of those, but you will get a bunch of different weaknesses off of each hit. So let's go ahead and take a look at that mechanic for the Special 1. All right, let's talk about her Special 2. And there is a rotation where you can use the Special 2 as part of like the rinse and repeat rotation that a lot of these champions have. So when the final hit of the Special 2 inflicts a non-stacking physical vulnerability debuff for 20 seconds. That's pretty long. And you can actually keep this going on as long as the opponent suffers 4 or more suppressions. Remember, the suppressions only last for 2 seconds, but you can keep putting them on with light attacks even into the block. So it's very easy to keep the physical vulnerability going. And then, of course, each hit with the special 2 also inflicts a weakness debuff, reducing attack by 5% for 8 seconds. Now, but remember that it's a non-stacking physical vulnerability, so the heavy attack ability with the Haymaker doesn't double that. It will double all the weakness debuffs, but it won't double that. So let's go ahead and take a look at And we finally come to the special 3. So let's talk about that. So when you activate the special 3, you immediately have to activate the Haymaker with a 50% duration. It doesn't matter if it's in cooldown or not. It immediately goes off. And then you immediately inflict a 30% potency fatigue. Fatigue does what? Fatigue does reduces critical rate by a given amount, and exhaustion, which reduces critical damage, decelerate, and I don't know why they don't actually tell us what that does, but I know it reduces critical damage. Decelerate, which stops unstoppable and evade. Disorient, reduces defensive ability accuracy, things like auto block and block proficiency. A falter, which they have a 30% miss chance. Whoop. And what else are we getting here? A stifle. Offensive combat power rate, that's the power rate that the opponent gains when they hit us. A wither, lowers ability power rate by the given potency. Petrify, power rate and regeneration rate. Cowardice, reduces special attack damage. And intimidate, which increases the chance to block, so it'll cause your opponent to go and like turtle up. And it also reduces their block proficiency. It'll stop them from using their special attacks. These things only last for 4 seconds. However, the way to use the special 3, again, is to use it in conjunction with a heavy attack and a Haymaker. So if the little Haymaker thing is ready to go, then you want to do the heavy attack, hit with the first effect, cancel into the special, and then special 3, and double all of these. So let's go ahead and take a look at now that we've talked about Titania's special 3, I want to talk about her awakened signature ability, and I want to talk about her synergies as well. So she has this awakened ability called Grudge Match, and whenever Titania inflicts a stackable personal debuff, she has a certain % chance to inflict it twice. Now, like I said before, she does not necessarily need to be awakened, but it does help. And if she is awakened, she's at her full potential if she is full sig. So she does need to be high sig if you are going to get her awakened up. But to do the rotation, you don't actually need to have her awakened whatsoever at all. But having a 30% chance to inflict another debuff amongst her stackable debuffs when you inflict one, to inflict 2 is great. That is awesome. So particularly with that suppression, so instead of inflicting up to like 3 or 4, you're inflicting up to maybe 5 to 7 of them instead, because it is a 10 to 30% chance. But if you have a 30% chance, every time you hit 4 times, you're going to probably put another one on. So instead of 4, it'll be 5. So also, whenever fighting large or extra large opponents, her Fury potency is increased by 10 to 30%. Again, that is not necessary for her kit, but it does help quite a bit when she's going up against larger champs. There's not a lot of large mystic champions that in the game, but I mean, it does help. So now let's talk a little bit about her synergies. And I did want to mention, we are at a Sig 20 right now. which means we're at 11 point. We're basically at a 12% chance to inflict a debuff twice, and our Fury potency is increased by 12%. So it's not great. It's not great. So let's talk about her synergy. So we've got this synergy here with Colossus, Drax, Hulk, and Hyperion called Do You Even Lift? So increases the Fury potency effects by 4% for each synergy champion present. That's okay. 4% is not a massive amount, considering her Furies. 4% to this number is not awesome. But, I mean, she does get a lot of these. So, 4% is basically like 20 points. It's not a great thing, but, I mean, for each one, it could be okay. Horrible bosses. So, debuffs gain a 50% ability accuracy for each other synergy champion present, increased to 100% for each defeated synergy champion. Does not affect debuffs from Titania's signature ability. So that's this right here. So it doesn't affect this percentage, but it does affect all the other stuff that happens here. So then there is the She-Hulk one. I will break you. So start each fight with 10 Fury passives and Fury effects gain 25% duration. That's actually pretty good. And these are these adding insults, so they last for 15 seconds. That's not bad. Miscreants, so if you either have Black Cat or Ghost, 20% more power from heavy attacks. That's okay. Most of your attacks are not going to be heavies, and you're going to be using only the first hit in your heavies on most of them. If you put the champion in, intercepting the opponent causes Titania's Fury passives pauses them for 2 seconds and reduces Haymaker cooldown by 5 seconds. But you have to be really good to do this. Punk's Panache doesn't necessarily affect Titania. So special attacks do not generate power for opponents if Titania is alive, and gain 10% attack rating if Captain Marvel is alive, 750. So I guess she's a synergy champion, so I guess this would affect her. Maybe it's okay. Fear itself, gain 20% attack rating when fighting at class advantage, and regain the attack rating penalty when fighting at disadvantage. That's okay. And then Rogue's Romance, gain immunity to bleed effects. This one we're going to be using. So I really like the Absorbing Man. I really like putting at least one of these guys on here, like maybe both of them. Do You Even Lift? The I Will Break You, I like that one, and I like the some of the Punk's Panache things. So let's go ahead and build a team and go through the rotation. But let's talk about the rotation first. So, of course, you want to be doing medium, light, 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 light combos, and then medium, light, light, light into blocks. And that gets you your suppressions and your Furies. You want to activate your Haymaker immediately at the beginning of the fight. You want to build to a special 3 with the Haymaker ready, like we showed with the special 3. You want to activate the Haymaker and cancel out. So you want to hit once with your heavy, and that activates the Haymaker, and then you want to cancel into your special 3. And then that'll put all those debuffs on. You want to spam heavies after that, which doubles all those debuffs, and then you just rinse and repeat. Now, you can integrate the special 2 into this and then build to the special 3, but you got to make sure that the special 2, that physical vulnerability, you have to keep track of that and make sure you keep refreshing it. So you got to keep doing the medium, light, 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 or medium, light, light, light into blocks. And that'll keep that physical vulnerability going. If you do that route with the special 2, make sure that you're really close to a special 3 before you use your special 2. So like 2.75 to 2.9% of bars of power. Then go from there, and you should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a full fight so we can look at the full rotation against. All right, here's our team. So we've got the Absorbing Man on here for the bleed immunity, which makes her a little bit suicide friendly. It'll get rid of bleeds. She's still... It's going to take a little bit of damage from the Liquid Courage that I have on. And then we've got Hyperion and Hulk on here that's going to give us a bump in our Fury potency of 8%. And we've got the She-Hulk on here, which is going to start us off with 10 Furies. And it's also going to increase the duration of our Furies by a little bit. So let's get into it. We're going to try and do this special 3. Not easy to do. The special 3 rotation is not... Once it's on, and it works great. But it's not easy to do. All right, and he stunned me. I don't know how he did that, but we're going to keep going. We're up to 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to get... There's the first one. I think I got it. Okay, let's see what happens here. And the animations are actually pretty cool for this. Okay, we got it. Okay. Now we're going to hit with heavy, so watch. See, it goes to 3 and then to 4, and look at all the staggers that are on him. And he's just going to yeah, that's it. And he's just going to turtle up. Because of the cowardice, it's just going to make him turtle up, and you can keep kind of hitting him. And even if he comes after you, it's going to be pretty nasty. So that's 1 minute and 5 seconds with 44 hits. That's pretty good. Once you get that special 3 rotation going, it works awesome, and you can take your opponents out pretty heavily. You don't really be afraid to use that heavy. Once your haymaker is ready, just use the heavy and go. Go from it, and you should be okay. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch